Hello and welcome to Firstpost Spotlight, where we bring you stories that matter to you from all across the world. From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, we shed light on issues that shape our world. I am Joshua Barnes, live from the Firstpost studios. Let's begin with the top headlines. Hundreds of Sikh pilgrims enter Pakistan from India to mark Guru Nanak's birthday anniversary tomorrow, in the first major border movement since deadly clashes that led to the border closure. South Korea says it will build and launch its first nuclear-powered submarine by the late 2030s after US approval, as both allies deepen military and shipbuilding partnership amid regional tensions. Tanzania partially lifts a curfew and internet blackout after violent post-election unrest, as opposition claims hundreds are killed and calls for President Samia Hassan's landslide victory a sham. Australia announces new policy offering 3 hours of free solar power per day to households from next year, as the country pushes to expand renewable energy access and cut emissions. And Hong Kong says October temperatures hit record highs, with officials warning that extreme heat will become more common worldwide as climate change drives stronger heat waves and severe weather patterns. Our top story is from Canada. It's a country which once used to be a hub for foreign students, especially Indians, but not anymore. Canada is shutting its doors harder than ever. Let's start with the numbers. We have data from Canada's Immigration Department for the month of August. 74% of Indian study permit applications have been rejected. That's a dramatic shift. Last year, the rejection rate was just 32%, and now it stands at 74%, more than double what it was in 2024. In August, over 4,500 applications were filed by Indians, and only around 1,200 were approved. While the global rejection rate sits at around 40%, Indian students are facing much tougher scrutiny. In comparison, only 24% of Chinese applicants were refused. This comes as Canada tightens its immigration policies. The government has slashed the international student permit cap to 437,000 for this year. That's a 10% cut from last year and 35% lower than previous highs. Indian students, which once made up the largest group in Canadian colleges, are the worst hit, with visa allocations dropping by 31% this year alone. Officials say the move is part of a larger crackdown on visa fraud. Back in 2023, Canadian authorities uncovered over 1,500 fake study permit applications from India, all linked to forged college admission letters. Many students reached Canada with fake documents, unaware they were fraudulent. When their papers were flagged during permanent residency checks, they faced deportation. That scandal pushed Canada to tighten the system. Now, applicants face enhanced verification, with detailed checks on the source of their funds and education documents. Students say the process feels like a visa interview and more like an interrogation. Education experts say this has created panic amongst students and hit Canadian campuses hard. The University of Waterloo reports a 2/3 drop in Indian enrolments. Other universities like Regina are also struggling. That's a major blow because international students contribute nearly $22 billion a year to Canada's economy. Diplomatic tensions have also made things worse. Ever since Canada accused India of being linked to the killing of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar in 2023, relations have soured and student flows have cooled. The Indian embassy in Ottawa reminded Canada that some of the best quality students in the world come from India. Canadian Foreign Minister Anita Anand said Canada still values Indian students, but remains committed to immigration integrity. With Canada's doors narrowing, many Indian students are now turning to Australia and the United Kingdom, where visa approvals have risen by 20% and 15% this year. For decades, Canada was the promised land for Indian students chasing global dreams. But now, that dream seems to be fading, replaced by a growing sense of doubt and distance. Moving on, Pakistan's northwest is once again on edge. Security forces say they've killed several members of the banned Tehreek-e-Taliban, or TTP. The encounter ensued after a police convoy was ambushed in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. A top ISIS-linked commander was also killed in a separate operation. The attack took place in Banu district, part of Pakistan's Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, near the Afghan border. A police convoy led by the district police officer came under heavy fire. Terrorists from the banned TTP opened fire using automatic and heavy weapons. Police fired back and several TTP fighters were killed on the spot. Others fled to the nearby hills. The 6 policemen were injured and hospitalized. In another part of the province, security forces killed a senior Daesh Khorasan operative. Daesh Khorasan is the regional branch of the Islamic State group, active in Afghanistan and Pakistan. He was linked to several assassinations, including those of a local Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf leader, an Awami National Party member, and even the Deputy Commissioner of Buna district. Authorities say he had earlier been jailed in Kabul, but was released after the Taliban takeover in 2021. He later entered Pakistan and planned multiple attacks in Bajwa and nearby areas. In a third incident, an Afghan militant was killed while planting an improvised explosive device in Tank district. Islamabad blames Kabul for giving safe haven to TTP fighters, but Afghanistan denies those allegations.
We neither brought the TTP here, nor supported them, nor did they come during our time. The TTP existed here during the Ashraf Ghani's era. After the victory, TTP's leaders and Mujahideen all went back to the tribal areas and are not present here anymore.
The Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, or TTP, is a terrorist group responsible for hundreds of attacks across Pakistan. It was formed in 2007 and is also known as the Pakistani Taliban. The group has targeted security forces, politicians and schools, including the 2014 Peshawar school massacre that killed over 140 people, most of them children. In recent years, Pakistan's military has intensified operations against TTP hideouts in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan provinces. Just last month, security forces killed several TTP members in North Waziristan during a series of intelligence-based operations. The latest violence shows Pakistan's inability to curb violence along its western border. Peace in these regions remains fragile and far from Islamabad's reach. Let's shift focus to Ukraine. According to a report, the country is using a video game-style drone reward system in the war. Ukraine said the system has become popular on the battlefield and Russia may try to copy it. Here's how it works. A Guardian report says Ukraine has created a computer game-style drone attack system called the Army of Drones bonus system. It rewards soldiers with points when they successfully hit Russian targets using drones. Soldiers then use these earned points to get more upgraded weapons and equipment. The points can be exchanged in an online store called Brave One, like an Amazon for war. It offers over 100 types of drones and military equipment. It even has a leaderboard with top units, including teams named Achilles and Phoenix. Ukrainian officials said the system has become popular among army units and went viral in the military. About 400 drone units now take part, up from just 95 in August. Ukrainian officials say the program has been running for more than a year. But how do points work? From game style to real war, let's understand. Ukraine doubled points for killing Russian infantry from 6 to 12. Killing a Russian drone operator earns 25 points. Capturing a Russian soldier using a drone earns 120 points, as prisoners can be exchanged. Officials said point values are now emotionless after years of war. Ukraine has also extended the system beyond drone strikes. For example, artillery units get points for accurate hits, reconnaissance units get points for spotting targets, and for logistics, points can be earned for using autonomous vehicles instead of human drivers to resupply troops near the front lines. Officials said the more enemy soldiers killed, the more drones they get, calling it a self-reinforcing cycle. The system aims to boost motivation and improve war effectiveness, and Ukraine says it is critical for survival. Commanders says this is not about fun, it is about war. Sometimes units hit low-value targets for battlefield needs, not for points. Operators work close to the front or kilometers away, using screens and controllers similar to gaming devices. Units compete with each other, pilots against pilots, teams against teams, this to keep morale high. But commanders said when Russia launches an attack, competition stops and everyone works together to protect lives. Ukraine said the system also provides crucial data and helps understand the so-called mathematics of war. Ukraine believes Russia may now try to develop a similar points system. So here is where things stand. Modern warfare is now working like a game of survival. The only difference here is real lives are at stake. And our final story is from the Philippines. A powerful typhoon has left a trail of devastation across the central Philippines, forcing hundreds of thousands to flee, flooding entire neighborhoods and claiming at least 26 lives so far. In Cebu alone, 21 people are now confirmed dead. More than 150,000 people took refuge in evacuation centres across coastal provinces as Typhoon Kalmaiji, the typhoon that brought winds of up to 150 kilometres per hour, slammed into the archipelago late on Monday. The storm first made landfall at Dinagat Islands before tearing across the Visayas region overnight. By early Tuesday, Kalmaiji was barreling over Cebu and Negros Island, bringing with it torrential rain, power outages and floods that left residents clinging to rooftops. And officials stated that people were marooned on rooftops, adding that even some evacuation centres were inundated. Over 300,000 people have been evacuated, according to the Office of Civil Defence, while officials confirmed that one man was killed by a falling tree in Bohol province, and another elderly resident drowned in southern Leyte. The typhoon's broad wind bands spanning 600 kilometres left a path of chaos across multiple provinces, including Cebu, which is still reeling from a 6.9 magnitude earthquake in September that killed 79 people and displaced thousands. Many survivors still living in temporary shelters were forcibly evacuated for their own safety. Officials ordered mandatory evacuations in parts of Leyte and Samar.
Our place there is flooded. The water rose high because of the river. It's dangerous there, though our house is okay since it's made of concrete, but we're avoiding the flood.
They're still at home. They haven't left yet. My children are still there. I don't know where the rest of their families will evacuate to.
These two regions are still haunted by memories of Super Typhoon Haiyan in 2013, which killed more than 6,000 people. Kalmaiji is already the 20th tropical cyclone to strike the Philippines this year, matching the nation's national average, with 3 to 5 more storms expected before the year's end. Meteorologists say La Nina conditions are likely intensifying these storms, while scientists warn that human-driven climate change is making typhoons more frequent and destructive. As Kalmaiji churns northwest towards the South China Sea, disaster agencies are now racing to reach stranded residents, restore power and provide emergency aid to those displaced. But for many, the memories of that long, fearful night will linger. That's all we have on the show today. We will see you again tomorrow at the same time. Until then, thank you for watching.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines. Detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30